Look, we all know going through a divorce is one of the most stressful things you can do. And once those papers are signed, you just want to slam that chapter shut and move on, right? But what if I told you there's a huge loose end, one that could mess everything up later? Let's dive in.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, you've split the assets, you've sorted out where everyone's living, you've signed a mountain of paperwork. But honestly, the answer is almost always a huge no. There's this massive part of your life that a divorce decree just doesn't touch. And here it is, your estate plan. Yeah, all those important documents you probably set up years ago when you were married, your will, powers of attorney, all those beneficiary forms. Guess what? They don't just magically update themselves. And leaving them as is, oh man, that can create some absolutely massive, unintended problems down the line.
And look, it's totally understandable why this stuff gets pushed to the side. You're dealing with all this emotional stress, your finances are all over the place, your whole life is getting rearranged. The last thing on your to-do list is update estate plan, right? But trust me, it is the crucial final step.
Okay, so what's the big deal? What are the actual risks here? Well, this is where it gets really serious, because those old documents, they could still be legally binding, which means your ex, your ex could still be in control of huge parts of your life. All right, first up, the big one, your will. Think back to when you made it. Chances are you named your spouse as the main person to get everything, maybe even the executor who's in charge of it all. Well, after a divorce, that old instruction can become a legal nightmare. Now, here's a really common misconception. A lot of people think, oh, the law will just take care of it. The state will automatically cut my ex out of the will. And while, yeah, many states do have laws like that, it is not a foolproof fix. It can leave these weird gaps or cause a ton of confusion about who's supposed to get what instead. Seriously, relying on that is a massive gamble you do not want to take with your legacy. Okay, next up, and this might be the single biggest thing people forget, and it has huge immediate financial consequences. We're talking about beneficiary designations. You know, who gets the cash from your life insurance, your 401k, your retirement accounts? So what is a beneficiary designation? It's super simple. It's just a form you filled out for an account, your 401k, your IRA, whatever, that basically says, when I pass away, give the money in this account directly to this person. Seems like a simple piece of paper, right? But you're about to see just how unbelievably powerful it is. And boom, here's why it's a potential time bomb. A beneficiary designation overrides your will. Let me say that one more time because it's that important. It overrides your will. So you could go out and get a brand new will, all shiny and updated, leaving everything to your kids. But if you forgot to change the beneficiary on that huge life insurance policy, guess who gets the money? Yep, your ex. Okay, let's shift gears. We've talked about what happens after you're gone. But what about if something happens to you while you're still here and you can't make decisions for yourself? That's where a power of attorney comes in. It's the legal document that gives someone else the keys to your financial kingdom if you're ever incapacitated. Just pause and think about that for a second. If your ex is still the person named on that document, they could get total control of your bank accounts, your investments, everything, all because you had an accident or got sick. Is that really the person you'd pick for that job today? Probably not. And if you thought that was scary, this next one is just as critical, maybe even more so. I'm talking about your healthcare directive. You know, the document that says who gets to make medical decisions for you if you can't speak for yourself. So if your ex is still on that form, they could be the one a doctor turns to in the middle of a crisis. And their decisions, their personal beliefs, they might be completely different from what you would want for yourself now. This is quite literally a life or death decision being left in the wrong hands. You know, after a divorce, you're exhausted. You're just trying to heal and move forward. This stuff, estate planning, it feels like just one more giant chore. So it's so easy to say, I'll deal with that later. But as we've just laid out, later could be way too late. It could leave everything, your money, your health, your entire future, wide open and vulnerable. Okay, so how do we fix all this? Don't worry, the good news is it's actually pretty straightforward. You don't have to burn everything down and start from scratch. It's really just a simple reset, a 4-point check to get all your documents lined up with your new life. So here it is, your 4-point financial reset. Number 1, review your will. Number 2, update your power of attorney. Number 3, change your healthcare directive. And number 4, and this is the big one, check all of your beneficiary designations. Every single one, not just the big life insurance policy, every account.
And I really want you to think about this differently. This isn't just boring paperwork. It's not just another item on a to-do list. This is you taking back the controls. It's the final, official step of closing that old chapter for good and starting fresh.
Because a divorce is so much more than the end of a relationship, right? It's a complete legal and financial reset of your whole life. Your estate plan is the blueprint for that new life, and it has to match the new reality you're living in. So let's just be crystal clear about what's at stake here. If you don't do this, you are letting a past version of yourself, a version that was in a totally different life with a different person, make critical decisions about your money, your property, and even your medical care today. You are. When you take these 4 steps, you put yourself back in the driver's seat. You make sure that your wishes, your choices for your future are the only ones that matter. And that, right there, is the most powerful way to truly move on.